Namaste everyone. Talking about a person who was the greatest intellectual and the greatest political thinker of the history. He was like a god to his race people, but a Saitanam to the rest of the world. His struggles, his pain and his suffering was real, but his ideologies and intentions were wrong. He was the biggest criminal, the greatest dictator, the biggest international issue of the whole mid-20th century. Welcome to the channel Lessons for Life. I am Vasudeva Thilak. Today I am going to review the book Kampf, an autobiography of Adolf Hitler, translating from German to English, My Struggle. He wrote this book at two different phases while he was sentenced to jail at two different timings. That's why there are two parts. And this book is completely filled with political thinking and historical facts of that era. So my work would be to review why should anybody read this book rather than saying the facts. People read a lot about great leaders, but he was once such a great villain that he made all the leaders bow down their head. Compressing the 400 pages and making it short within less than 10 minutes. कुछ तो जुगाड़ करना पड़ेगा, इसलिए एक कहानी सुना देता हूँ, सुन लीजिएगा. And here we go. Hitler was born to a poor family. His mother was a maid working in his father's house. His father was attracted to his mother and they both married. She was the third wife and Hitler was born. Now Hitler's father was a civil servant to the Austrian Empire and he wanted his son to be the same. But Hitler, he was not at all ready to be civil servant at any cost. He wanted to be a painter. Hitler disagreed to his father. This argument between father and son did not last long because when Hitler was 13 years, his father passed away. Now he just had an affectionate, loving mother, but after 4 years, due to health issues, even his mother passed away. He was all alone now and he had to do something for his survival. From then, he moved to Vienna. Over there, at that time, it was industrial era. जहाँ भी देखो industry and everyone were crowded to get the job, so it was very difficult to find a job. But somehow he managed and got his daily wages. He saw that people were very deeply humiliated because it was taken control by French soldiers as Napoleon had attacked long back. So he quit the job after some time, after a long struggle, and he started painting and selling those. Whenever he got a leisure time, he studied. And he also mentioned that that was the only pleasure he got at that time. His method of study is something so interesting. Whatever he studied theoretically, he tried to apply it practically. And whatever he saw practicality happening in front of him, he searched in theories to find out what is correct. And in this process, there were so many opinions about so many authors, people from outside. He did not have a proper conclusion, and that was the most scary one when he started deriving conclusions. There was that parliament in Vienna where all the political leaders would arrive and do the debate. So he attended to learn, to get some knowledge from them. But what he saw, he was mystified. There were almost no one who attended the parliament, and even if they did, they were very weak in debate, as if like they never cared about developing the German nation. So after spending all this time in Vienna, he moved to Munich. बहुत घूमता था ये Hitler anyway. So in Munich he was a bit comfortable than in Vienna because the proportion of Germans were higher than Jews than in Vienna. But still the population of German people were day by day kept on increasing. So to make sure that this overpopulation doesn't burden the German nation, he also gave the remedies in his own autobiography. So soon after that, before he goes into politics and all, the World War I started. From 1914 to 1918, he was a soldier for the German nation, allied with the Austrian-Hungary Empire and battled at the front. You see, when this World War goes on, for their mental and emotional support, there is a need of war propaganda. So in this war propaganda, it gives the soldier an emotional support to fight the war. But the propaganda was prepared by those politicians sitting inside the German nation who had no concern about any development for the German nation. This made Hitler more infuriated. And the journalists who were passing these messages, these people were Jews. You see, from the beginning till the end, Hitler had a lot of enmity towards Jews, because he believed that whatever the communication that was taking place was controlled by the Jews, and they made it so vulgar that he did not like. He declared in his book with such an hatred that Jews were like the bargainers. They did not have a specific nation from the very long-lasting period. Every time they moved from one country to another country just for the survival. They were economically powerful and they were very good in communication. He preached to his own people that German and the Aryan race, this world specifically race, Aryans were the main reason for all the development that was taking place in the whole world, not just Germany. And if Jew existed in the Germany, within 100 years, the earth would revolve around the sun without any species of human being. Now this was what Hitler believed, and he made everyone believe. And after that, he created German Socialist National Labour Party. And that is where the game begins. So till here, the comparison of part 1 is done. Who shall do the part 2? If you're interested, you're gonna read it and you will be the one to get benefit from it. All the fun begins in the part 2. Okay, at last giving you a simple moral, one of the moral of this whole short story, that whenever you think a race, religion, caste, creed, this kind of thing enter your mind like a bug, indirectly you're preaching for a disastrous destruction, just like Hitler was filled with the bug of race. And even if so many people have the ideology like Hitler, why can't anyone be so disastrous, so evil like him? Is because the way he executed his ideology. That was one thing that everyone has to learn from Hitler. He was the best person to execute his ideology in the whole history. So see you again next time. Till then, take care. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat Mata.